Kokoro is 20, isn't she?
That's what he said right after I introduced myself. I had told him my name, and then had a little chat with him about the place of our destination. However, I hadn't given him any hints or clues that would help him to guess my age like that. How did you know?
Heh, impressed?
Yuni threw his head back onto the seat and made a sound with his nose.
Maybe I'm psychic.
Come on, stop playing around and tell me!
Let's see. I can tell you, but in exchange, I have a favor to ask.
A favor?
You see, I'm not really good with the zoom. Zoom. There's a part where it goes zoom, right?
Huh?
Well, you know, right? When the plane begins to land, it descends rapidly with a zoom, and there's a point when you feel light, as if gravity disappears.
Oh, well, yes. And?
So when this plane starts descending...
Looking at me with upturned eyes, Yuni continued.
Would you hold my hand?
Unconsciously, I burst out laughing. However, the expression on Yuni's face was so serious that making fun of him just didn't seem right. Even though his words, at times, showed wisdom beyond his years, inside he was still just a child. Well, if that's all it is, then be my guest.
Really?
That being said, there aren't many boys that are allowed to touch me as they please, you know. So be grateful. I gave his head a little poke, and he blushed as he jumped into my arms. Oh well. So, what's the answer? You were about to tell me how you knew my age, right?
Yes, well...
When he said that, Yuni let go of my sleeve and stretched his arm behind my head.
It's this! This! This was stuck in Kokoro's hair, so...
In his hand was a fluttering object, which he presented to me. The object Yuni was holding between his fingers was... a small white feather, as light and soft as dawn.
Our section's small, spiraling stairs continued higher and higher up. It felt as if I was walking up the scales of a giant constrictor snake. A constrictor snake which had wrapped itself around a huge column as it desperately tried to strangle it. Its iron scales made sharp, cold sounds as my feet continued on their journey. And David played with his hand as at other times. And there was a javelin in Saul's head. And Saul cast the javelin, for he said, I will smite David even to the wall with it. I didn't think of the words coming out of my mouth as my own. It was as if some spirit was whispering them into my ear. I will smite David, even if he avoided it twice. The entrance I was looking for was near. Thankfully, this constrictor I was making my way up on didn't have a head. Perhaps before it could finally strangle its prey, its head was cut off. The cogwheels of the clock tower made an eerie noise. It sounded as if a spell was being cast, one to take control over time for all eternity.
A feather?
Yep, a feather.
This was in my hair?
Yes, it was on the back of your head.
I had no idea why a feather would be there.
Kokoro, you didn't take a bath yesterday, did you?
Hey, that's quite rude of you, you know. And for your information, I'm pretty sure I did take a bath yesterday.
That's a lie.
And why would I lie about something like that?
Because Kokoro's eyelids are a little swollen. It's from a lack of sleep, isn't it?
Saying that, Yuni took out a mirror from his pocket and placed it in front of my face.
Right?
Just as Yuni said, my eyelids showed a slight tinge of red. It was true that I didn't get much sleep last night. Last night, I was in a rush to prepare for this trip, and before I could meet her, I wanted to fill my head with as much information as possible. When I finally got to bed, the sky was already growing light. Well, it's a fact that I didn't get much sleep. But what did this and that have anything to do with one another? How is my lack of sleep related to the feather? Or to my age, for that matter?
Now, don't rush me. I'll explain everything in order, okay?
Yuni snapped the folding mirror shut and slipped it back into his pocket.
First off, let's confirm the date. Today's date is what day of what month in what year?
It's January 11th, 2011, Tuesday.
Okay! Then what day was it yesterday?
January 10th, Monday. Coming of age day.
Yup. Now then, that's where this feather comes in.
Yuni said, as the feather danced on the palm of his hand.
When girls put on their kimono for the event, they wear shawls over their shoulders too. Of all of the materials used to make shawls, the most popular is the feather of the white goose. And so, the feather I'm holding in my hand right now is most likely... I don't need to say anymore, do I?
In other words, I wore a shawl over my kimono when I was attending my coming-of-age ceremony yesterday. And it was then that the feather came off of the shawl and got attached to my hair?
The coming-of-age ceremony is like a big event where you invite all of your friends from elementary school and middle school to meet up, right? Where you find out that your first crush is so homely you don't even recognize them. And that the plainest girl in class has become beautiful enough to make you jealous. Anyway, one chance encounter is followed by the next. You learn many surprising things. Everyone's emotions get stirred up and energy fills the air. It's not hard to imagine being swept up by that wildly exciting atmosphere. Being carried along on a buoyant mood like that. So as the ceremony was coming to an end, you went to an after party with another group of close friends. You'd also finally reached the age where you could drink alcohol legally too, right? When the first after party is over, it's on to the second, and then the third, and then the fourth, and before you know it, the sun is rising in the eastern sky. The result? Not enough sleep, red eyelids, and no time to even take a shower. Kokoro, with the feather still stuck in her hair, was rushing to get on this plane at the last moment. So what do you think? I got all of it right, didn't I?
Hearing all those statements in such quick succession left me feeling embarrassed long before I fully noticed it myself. Yuni's eyes were sparkling, and his cheeks were flushed with red. It's amazing how far you took this wild delusion based off of a single feather.
Delusion? This isn't a delusion at all. It's an extremely logical deduction.
I see. So you're quite confident, aren't you?
I guess.
However, that extremely logical deduction is actually, unfortunately, completely wrong.
Huh?
Because I was actually born in February. I had my coming-of-age ceremony last year. As soon as I said those words, Yuni's eyes opened wide, leaving two little dots where his cheerful, saucer-like pupils had been before. His mouth was left half open in shock.
That's a lie! Then what about the feather? What about the feather? Why was this feather stuck in your hair?
Who knows?
Who knows, you say?
Well, after all, we are above the clouds here. It might just be an angel's feather, you know?
An angel?
Murmuring that in wonder, Yuni turned to look out the window. His flustered appearance resembled that of a live puppy that had just come face to face with a robot dog, and was all the cuter for it. I couldn't help but giggle quietly to myself. My laugh reached Yuni's ears, and his neck tensed up.
There's no way angels could exist.
Is that so?
It is!
Well, either way, it's much more romantic than the goose feather explanation, right?
So to decide whether something is true or not, you just check with yourself to see if it's romantic or not, and if you like what you end up with, then you believe in it?
Once in a while, I guess.
So having a logical basis for something doesn't even matter?
Come on, I did say once in a while, didn't I? If there's a logical explanation for something, then I'll believe it. But if there isn't one, I
will choose the most romantic option?
pretty much.